Hey guys! So, Merry Christmas, first of all. It is Christmas Eve, and I told you that I would be putting a video out today to talk about my notebook and how I keep everything organized and on track for my workouts. So, lots of people had asked me about it, and it's pretty simple, but every time I'm in the gym, my notebook is with me. So I wanted to go through, I gave you a list yesterday of some of the things that you need just to get it started. So I just started with a basic 3-ring binder. This one's actually probably a little thin. My other one, I've already filled up one this year. So I started another one already, and it's gonna be, actually a lot of that's blank, so you'll see that in a minute. But a 3-ring binder, and I try to get one that's got the pockets on the inside so that I can stick stuff in there as I need to. So we talked about needing some tab dividers. I've got those, and I've got them all labeled with different things. So what I have on here is one, I kind of stick this schedule in here. If you go to a gym and they have a group fitness schedule, or if you come to Sweat and you have our schedule for group classes, you can keep a copy. I keep a copy of the current month in here so that at the beginning of the month, I can look through here, and I've just kind of gone in and circled the classes that I want to go to and that I think will fit into my schedule. Obviously, I'm not going to pick things that are never going to happen. Like for me, if I went on here and there's a 5:30 a.m. class that I really want to go, it's not going to happen for me because I train clients at that time 5 days a week. So that I know that that's not something I even want to look at. So I go through, I look at my schedule, I know when my down times are, and I pick the classes that are going to work best with my schedule and that I want to do. So that's one thing I do. On the tabs, what I have is I've got different tabs for everything. I've got one for nutrition. Mine right now doesn't have anything in that section because I'm in the process of revamping all of my nutrition. As most of you know, I did the physique competition, and so now I'm transitioning back into my ultra running training, which, if you know anything about diet and nutrition, those are vastly different from each other. So I am shifting from that competition diet, which is insane, to endurance nutrition, which is very different. So right now I'm working on that still, which is why there's nothing in here. The other thing, what you can do is you can have a plan in there. It could be very general or very specific if you have maybe a dietitian or somebody helping you. I recommend that, especially if you have a specific thing you're training for. A registered dietitian is a great person to go to help you get organized and know exactly what it is that you need. You can log your food, in that section, or I use an app on my phone. That way I can just track everything, and all the foods are in there already. So I can look at it throughout the day and see how many calories I have left, all those kind of things. There's lots of apps out there. I use MyFitnessPal. Every one of them has got pros and cons. It doesn't take into account the strength workouts I do. It doesn't take into account when I do a long run that I really need some different types of food. So I use it strictly as a guideline. I mean, I know how many the calories, fats, carbs, basically track my macros is what I use it for. But there's lots of apps out there, and you can find the one that works for you. The next one I have is my 2016 calendar. And what I did, I gave you guys an example yesterday of going and finding a printable calendar, and you want to have space for you to write in. So I've actually already sat down and I wrote in what I was going to do on each day. I've even written in my rest days. So like those of you that know us know that on December 31st, my husband and I direct a race. That 50K race lasts all day. Obviously, we're there from 4:30 in the morning until about 5:36 p.m. Obviously, I'm not working out that day. So I automatically plug that in as a rest day, and I work around that to make sure I get everything in. So as you all know, I harp on this all the time. Organization is the best way to keep yourself on track. So I have gone through here and already plugged in what I'm doing on each day, and so far I'm right on exactly where I'm supposed to be. So that's a great thing to do there. Then I've got a list, like for me, for runners, this is easier to do, and that's one of the reasons I love running, is it's so easy to track and check things off. So I already gone through, what I did first was I picked my goal race. So for me, it's my 100-miler, and it's in the fall. So I picked that race, and then I worked backwards from there. So I found races each month that helped me train for that race. I'm not one of those people who's just going to show up at every race, because I think it's detrimental to your training. So I try to be very specific with the things that I choose. Obviously, there's one or two that I do because I love the race, but it also still falls into that schedule that I have. So I do that. Sometimes I will even, I haven't done it yet on this one, and I probably still will, is sometimes I'll even put my goal time for that race. So that's something you can do, or if you just want to plan the races out, and then maybe pick your goal times a little bit later on, you can do that. Then I've got my run plan. This is something that, there's a lot of them online. I don't recommend just getting a generic plan. I recommend getting a coach or a trainer or somebody to help put a plan together for you. So if you've picked a specific race, you know what you need to work towards, and you can tell them that, and they can give you your very specific run plan. And they'll kind of keep tabs on you too. I do it for a lot of people, but not only that, a lot of times last year for my 100 miler, I actually hired a coach to help me. So, you know, we all need that little extra oomph, and she had me doing some things that I normally would not have done when training for a 100 miler. So that was really great for me, and it gave me some, you know, that accountability of her checking in on me and somebody kind of cheering me along as I was doing my training races. So I've got my run plan in there. I know what I'm doing, and I actually put like a month at a time in there, so I know exactly what I've got to do. Then my next tab is my strength workouts. I only have a few in here right now. Especially if you're one of those people who has worked out with me, you probably have a ton of them if you've kept all the workouts I've given you, or if you've got your own workouts. This section could be huge, and I just have a few, like I said, right now, because this is a new notebook I just started, so I've got to get some more workouts put in here as I get tired. This has maybe 12 different workouts on those pages. I'll get tired of those, and then I'll add some more in here. But I go through and I've picked which ones I want to do on which day. I typically do that the day before. So even though I know for this week what muscle groups I'm working each day, I don't know which workout I'm going to do till like the day before. I'll sit down and I look at my schedule and say, okay, I have clients at this time and this time. I have an hour gap here. So this workout would probably be the best one to fit in there. I may have only 30 minutes one day, so I'll pick out a workout that kind of works around that. So that I do on a day-to-day basis. So like when I started this morning, I already knew exactly what I was going to do because I picked it out yesterday. So that's where I have all my workouts. And then the final one is my workout log. I personally am old school. Let me see what I use. Notebook paper. And I've just written each day. I write all the exercises down. I write down how much weight I used, how many sets I did. And I'll even put notes on here. There's one day last week I was sick. So I put on there, you know, rest day, was sick, blah, blah, blah. I like to be able to go back and look at this to compare my progress. You know, if I'm doing a weight workout that I did 2 or 3 weeks ago, I want to look back and see that I've improved, or see, you know, if I'm not lifting as much, why. I mean, there's usually a note on there that will tell me either this was a great day or this wasn't a great day. So I really try to be, it's like a journal. I mean, it's, you know, lots of people keep journals. I keep my food log and I keep a workout log. And even rest days are in here. I'll write on there rest day, no exercise. So I think that's really important. And I just feel like it keeps me, like I said, more accountable. I don't have someone else checking on me. Then this is the way that I stay, you know, on track. So that's it. That's all I do. I have this with me all the time. I keep it in my car because I train at different gyms. You know, in and out of different gyms. Sometimes I have, you know, I think that's a great benefit that I can work out in different gyms. I worked out here today. You know, yesterday I worked out at one of the other gyms. So it's nice to have that variety. And sometimes that determines which workout I'm going to pick the next day, because not every gym has the same equipment that I'll need. So like I said, the day before, going through and picking out what's going to work best for my schedule and for what facility I'm going to be at. So that's a good way to start. Get your notebook, write down your goals for 2016. Don't just think about them, write them down. Like I said, I've them printed in here, so I can open this up and go, oh gosh, I said I wanted to do this. I also have already signed up for those races that are on that list. I've already signed up for them. For me, I need that commitment. For people wanting to do competition, that was one thing you need to do. If you think, I think I want to compete, you're probably not going to commit 100% to the training until you have chosen a show and signed up for it. So once you're registered, it's something mental that like, okay, I'm in. Same thing with a race. I mean, most races are not real cheap. So you've already put some money out and you've committed. The other thing I am big on is share, share, share. So tell your family, tell your friends, tell people that are around you, coworkers, what it is that you're planning on doing. So, when I said I'm going to compete, I wanted everybody to know, and I kept you guys updated and showed you progress, and because that accountability was helpful for me. Not only was it interesting for a lot of people, they wanted to know about that process. I found it very helpful because I thought, okay, they're watching. If I don't do this, they're all going to know. So for me, I find that to be very, very helpful. So really share what you're wanting to do. And ask them maybe to encourage you. Ask them to ask you about it, once a week or whatever. Say, hey, how's your training going? Are you still planning on doing that race or that competition, or what's your plan? So surround yourself with people who are going to be supportive of you. I will tell you that makes a big, big difference. I would have never made it through my competition training without the support I had with my family, because I could have easily driven them all crazy. But they were very supportive of me, and they're also very supportive of my racing and things like that, and they're very involved in it. So that helps tremendously. So set your goals, get yourself organized, have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you can always email me, and I would be glad to help you with whatever it is that you're wanting to work on, and we'll set you up a schedule to follow, depending on what your time allows for, what kind of facilities you have available, all those kind of things. So definitely have that. Like I said, share with everybody. Make sure people know what you're doing, and that they're going to encourage you and not discourage you. Obviously, you don't want to tell somebody, hey, I'm going to run this 50-mile race. Don't tell that to a bunch of people who think that running is going to hurt your knees. I mean, we hear that a lot. Oh my gosh, isn't that bad for your body or bad on your knees? Those people I don't waste my time. So share it with people who are going to be supportive of you. And that's about it. Just organization. Make yourself more likely to succeed. And I think that is all. So get those notebooks started, get your goals set, and let's hit it hard. You got a little over a week before the new year, so you got plenty of time to get yourself on the right track. Hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.